one of the biggest stars, I believe, in boxing emerging right now is Joshua Buatsi in the toughest test of his career so far. We have 2 great heavyweight fights on the card with Takam and also David Price against Tom Little, and a brilliant British title fight as well against Reece Bellotti against Ryan Walsh. Before we talk to these guys and speak to Fabio and Linus as well, I'm going to pass over to Adam Smith from Sky Sports, our host broadcaster, who of course will be showing this event live on Sky Sports box office on Saturday night.
Thanks, Eddie. What a way to finish the year, and it's been a fantastic 2018. As Eddie said, we were in New York last week. Katie Taylor, absolutely phenomenal, and the return of Canelo. This week, top of the bill, Whyte Chisora 2, phenomenal. We can't wait for that one. But what a card as well. Some really good fight talent on both tables here. You've got a bit for everyone. Loving the British featherweight title fight between Ryan Walsh and Reece Bellotti. You know, 2 great guys, old-fashioned throwback stuff. You've got a great heavyweight battle with Tom Little and David Price returning. Again, it's terrific. That'll really whet the appetite. You know, the guy to my left, Reynold Quinlan from Australia, he's going to test Joshua Buatsi, and we want to see that. Joshua Buatsi has done absolutely everything right so far. He looks class, doesn't he, in the ring? So much poise and brilliant outside it as well. Could he be the next real big superstar? Plus the world title fight. Can Charlie do it second time around? He's got his, he's got a tough test, hasn't he, against Christopher Rosales after that Paddy Barnes victory. But I know Charlie's worked long and hard for this. Fantastic undercard, really good. It's packed all night. It's going to be a terrific atmosphere at the O2. Don't forget, we've got a lot of build-up programs still to come. JD Ringside today and tomorrow. Everything on Sky Sports News. And yeah, it's a great way to finish the year, isn't it?
Thanks, Adam. Kicking off the action at the O2 on Facebook Live, we have Linus Adolfia and Fabio Wardley as well. Linus, firstly over to you. Come on board, part of the Haymaker setup. A lot of people in here won't know too much about you, so tell us about yourself and what we can expect on Saturday night at the
O2. Yeah, I'm just really thank you for the opportunity to be here, first of all. And yeah, not really too much. Didn't go to the Olympics, didn't do too much of the amateurs, just grafted my way up the hard way, and I'm just happy to be here, to be honest.
Looking forward to soaking it up backstage at the O2. It's a different kind of experience fighting on these shows.
Yeah, 100%. You know, compared to the small hall shows, this is what I've been grafting for a while. So I'm just really, really happy to be here. Fabio,
part of the emerging scene coming through. I believe you've been in camp with Dillian as well for this fight. I'm looking forward to getting out there on Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to get out there. Thank you to Dillian, obviously, for bringing me on board and bringing me part of this team, and then obviously putting me on the card with him as well. This is what I've been working towards, and obviously me and Dillian have been close, so we've worked together to put something like this together, and I'm just ready to go out there and show off on a big stage and let people know what I'm about.
What's your ambitions for 2019? It's a brilliant domestic scene right now. Couldn't be a better time to be mixing it in that company.
Yeah, definitely. The heavyweight scene at the moment is obviously, there's a lot going on from domestically and obviously at world level as well. So my main ambitions right now is obviously after a period of inactivity is just to get some fights under my belt, kind of get back into the swing of things, and then by mid next year start aiming for some belts and for some titles, and by the end of the year probably start calling some names out and just making some waves, because I'm not here to wait around. I want to get involved, and there's some big fights out there to be made.
And obviously backing your teammate, you've seen him in camp. This fight, you believe he's going to be successful against Chisora on Saturday?
100%. Like I said, I've been around Dillian for some time now, and every camp I've spent with him and every bit of time I've been around him, he's just been more and more focused. He's been more and more on top of his game. He's so aware of himself and where he needs to improve and how he's progressing. It's been great to see, and it's been a pleasure just to be alongside him and see that progression. So yeah, definitely, it's going to be a great fight, but he's definitely going to come out on top.
Staying with the heavyweights, Tom Little. We was joking before the press conference. You are unquestionably one of the greatest talkers in the sport of boxing. You haven't always delivered, but we know you have bundles of ability as well. Big night for you on Saturday night, live on Sky Sports box office against David Price.
Yeah, listen, massive opportunity, and one that I'm very grateful for. I'm just going to enjoy it, soak it up. Everything for me in this sport's a bonus now. So I'm just going to go out there, let my hands go, do what. For me, I'm an overachiever of such. I've got ability, I can fight, and I've got the art the size of this building. So I'm not really fazed about anything. Good friends with David. He looks in brilliant shape. Looks like he's had a brilliant camp. So I'm sure that we're going to deliver a banger, and I wouldn't be surprised if we steal the show.
Obviously, you've sparred David before. He's a big punch. You've been in the deep end at very short notice before against Dubois, more recently as well. At the high level against Hrgovic. Good camp this time around. You feel ready for this opportunity. At the workout yesterday, you were going for it. You wanted to showcase that you've been working hard for this fight, but kind of feels like in this division you're only ever one win away from a major fight.
Oh, of course. And listen, Barry Smith sat over there. He's worked hard. He's pushed me to hell and back. I've been doing some good rounds with this young man here who I can tell you he's going to do something in this sport. Very, very talented young man. And I know I'm only one win away, but I'm a pressureless fighter. To me, sitting on this table is a massive thing for me. But David should be on the top tier, if you know what I mean. Like, for me, this is a massive step up, and I might be considered to David as a step down. But me and him's done some brilliant rounds, and they were very painful, I ain't gonna lie. So I'm an honest man. The man could punch through that wall. But listen, if I was worried about power, heavyweight boxing ain't the one for me. I'm here to do a job, and I will give me heart and soul to make sure that job gets done. If not, then I just weren't good enough on the night, but I know I'm going to be.
Pricey, welcome back, mate. You've been on some huge shows recently, another one here. This time coming into the fight as a big favourite rather than the underdog against a Kuzmin or against a Povetkin. You had a good camp and ready to perform on Saturday night.
I've had a fantastic camp, and I'm grateful to be here again. I'm pleased that I'm fighting someone like Tom Little, because I've lost 3 of my last 4 fights, and the options could have been a lot easier to get back in, feel your way back in, try and get a knockout. But Tom Little's a serious fighter, and he's a test, let me tell you. And the sparring that we've done that much. There's going to be no feeling out process on Saturday. It's just going to be straight centre of the ring. And we do gel as styles, so you can look forward to an excellent fight. And like I said, boxing for me is a gentleman's sport. You can have all your table thrown, things like that. I'm a gentleman. I am what I am. And me and Tom get on really well and made the best man win on Saturday night.
I thought you boxed brilliantly against Kuzmin. I thought you were winning the fight. Obviously, you had an injury in that fight. You weren't the best prepared. You didn't have the deepest tank. But do you take a lot of positives from the Kuzmin fight and the way you performed there?
Do you know what, Eddie? I haven't really evaluated that fight to try and take positive, negatives from it, because it was what it was. There was a little bit more to it than met the eye, which can be revealed at a later date. But the injury didn't help, the preparation didn't help, and it was I've kind of written that fight off in my head and just completely moved on to the next one and focusing on what's in front of me. I'm desperate to win again, more than anything. Getting the win is, you're in it for the glory in boxing, ultimately. You know, you can talk about money and paydays, but we fight to get that winning feeling. I've lost 3 of my last 4 fights, and it's frustrating going home to my kids, not telling them, not saying I've won, and that's the desperation I've got this weekend, to get that win and then go from there.
Is it just about Saturday night? I mean, I know this division like the back of my hand. There are so many opportunities out there for you in 2019 if you win on Saturday. Got a big Liverpool show planned to coming up. But is it just purely about getting the job done on Saturday night, or are you thinking I'm one win away from some major fights in 2019?
Oh no, 100% focusing on Saturday night, and it would be disrespectful to my opponent to not have that mentality. And then if I can get the win, which I'm expecting to, things should take care. Well, you should take care of the rest of it for me, hopefully, Eddie, because every heavyweight needs a dance partner, and there's that many big names floating about now. there's going to be opportunities for the winner on Saturday night. So that's how much that's the carrot dangling for both of us.
I honestly can't wait for this fight. Two great gentlemen and two big punching heavyweights. I wish it was over 12 rounds. I don't think we're going to need it, but I'm really looking forward to that fight. Good luck to both of you there. Another fight that I really think could steal the show on Saturday is Reece Bellotti against Ryan Walsh. Reece is sort of one of my little favourite fighters. He is probably one of the most entertaining, definitely one of the biggest pound-for-pound punchers in Britain right now. And this year, we had a situation where he lost to Ryan Doyle for the Commonwealth title. It was a bit of a shock to everybody. Didn't expect it. I think sometimes he believed in his own power a bit too much in that fight. And now he gets a golden opportunity to win the British title, which always every young fighter has a dream to do. Ryan Walsh is a seasoned fighter, been a British champion for a long time. He's much, much better than British level. He's a European level fighter, someone I think could compete on the world stage as well. Reece, this is a big, big moment for you on Saturday night. Obviously, coming off the Doyle defeat, you got the win at the Copper Box in October. But this is a big fight and a big opportunity.
Yeah, it's a huge fight. It's a huge opportunity, like you say. Coming off the loss from Doyle, again, I got to a stage in my career where I thought I was just going to blast everyone out. I just thought no one could just stand with what I have. Big lesson that night, and hopefully I'll look to turn that around on Saturday. And obviously Ryan's a great champion. It's not going to be an easy fight by any means, and but our styles are very similar. It's going to gel well, and hopefully entertain the fans. Definitely the toughest test of your career so far. Did you have to adapt from that style like you did against Cunningham, and your power managed to get you through that fight? You did it again against Doyle. You have to be much cuter against Ryan Walsh and pick your spots much better. Yeah, definitely. I've got to have a better game plan, and we've got A, B and C game plan just in case things don't work on the night. Ryan's a good fighter. I've watched him for years, to be fair. I've gone to see his fights, and he can adapt as well to different styles, so I've got to bring something different to the table. Ryan, welcome, mate. You've been hanging around waiting. You were supposed to fight Isaac Lowe, and he took a fight in America, and obviously I've never known you and your team to turn a fight down, and as soon as we offered Reece Bellotti, you said yes, thank you very much, and a big opportunity for you on Saturday night in what will be a tough fight.
100%, I couldn't agree more. Can I just say Merry Christmas to everyone, Merry Christmas to all the lads, and in all the fights, may the best fighter win, even in my fight, because this is a sport, and it is like what David said, gentleman's sport. They're my type of fighters. We do need the big mouths, I agree with that. They're entertaining, and we all like to see them get punched in the mouth. Me and Reece aren't them type of guys. You're going to get to see us punch each other in the mouth, that's a fact. But at the end of it, the best man wins. We all go home happy and healthy to our families. Maybe unhappy for one of us, obviously, but we'll still have a Merry Christmas. I think I have been on this scene for a long time. My first British title fight was 5 years ago. It was on a matchroom bill. It seems the sport, the system, the way things work, that they want to keep me at this level. That's fine, because I made a point to myself that if this is it, I'm going to be a British champion. I'm going to be the best British champion I can be, and I think I've proved it. 3 years now, I've been the British champion. I'm the British champion because a future world champion beat me. He vacated, and then when I got back into the position, which took a while, we have a now current world champion vacating the title. You know, you was promoting him. You'll know better than me why that fight didn't happen. I know I was available, but I'm grateful in some ways that everything's played out this way, because this is now my 7th British title fight. There's not many people who have had 7 British title fights, so I stand alone in that. So as far as this level goes, and I agree with you, of course, I think I'm at minimum. I sit here and I feel I'm the uncrowned European champion. Anyone who tells me different, well, look back, watch the fight, and then look at the things that happened afterwards. It's quite clear. But I wouldn't change anything. Through the disgusting actions of that Danish fighter, I got to do something that means something to me and my family, and mainly my dad. Before I knew anything about boxing, I knew professional boxing. I didn't know anything about amateur boxing. My dad used to sit on his knee, show us all the greats, Leonard, all the other boys. But there's something special about the British title. I'm gutted I haven't got it here. My British title sits on my brother's wall with great pride. That was always, ideally, I'd love to be able to earn and get enough, and there was only one away with Liam to give one to my dad. But my dad's not here, and It's a title that I know he would have been massively proud that we are on. We on it, no matter what, we on it. And that takes pressure off in these situations. All the pressure's on Reece. He hasn't got a British title. He wants to own it. I know exactly where he's been, and I respect that. And that's why I expect this to be a very, very tough fight. Because you ask anyone who's fought in a British title fight, when I fought Selby, I produced a much better performance than I produced in 18 fights prior. I expect the best Reece Bellotti. We're going to see different from Reece than what we've seen in any. He was the Commonwealth champion, defending his Commonwealth title. Maybe he took his eye off the ball with Ryan. This is a bigger title, a better title, a bigger fight, a bigger stage. This is our shop window. It's still my shop window. If I'm going to be like I say, if I'm going to be kept at this British level, well, I'm going to be the best British champion I can be, and I'm really, really excited for this fight. I think you was right. He said there's a few different styles that could gel better and end up being fighting that, but this is one that you don't have to look at him. He's honest. He's an honest young fighter. You're going to tell me I'm an honest old fighter? I don't believe that. Edge is just a number of people. So I think B-Hop proved that as well. So
I think one of the reasons that you didn't get the fight that you were talking about back then was just because they didn't fancy it. And I think at the level you're operating at, which is British level, you're a very, very difficult fight. And I think what's happened to boxing is people have just decided we've got to take these fights, we've got to be in these fights. And I think, you look at someone like Reece Bellotti, where he's jumped straight into this fight. Normally, you might give him a few more before he fights someone like Ryan Walsh, but the game has changed. But do you feel like, you talk about a shop window, if you can produce that great performance where people turn around and say, wow, this guy's tasty. Is that the plan, or is it just about winning, or do you have to look good on Saturday night?
The W is always massive, but we all know as fighters that we're our own product. And if you don't know that, this is to young fighters, this is to anyone listening, you're a product, sell yourself. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be the air B and talk nonsense, but you know what, he's got impaired. I'm not about money. For me, I want to be able to watch this fight back with my brothers and family and go, yeah, I'm proud of that bit of work. And I did give myself a chance to shine in that shop window, because it is a shop window for all of us. Everyone's saying, even the top of the bill, they know this is a shop window. The heavyweight division is the most exciting division on the planet right now, because the options there for who's to fight and what, and them two are in the same boat, the top of the bill, and there's more pressure on them than anyone, I think. But I think we get to get a bit of that shine. All of us on the undercard have got a chance to say, we're going to watch Chisora fight, but did you see that? That's what we've got a chance to be. Did you see that fight? Regardless of what happens in that bill, did you see? And that's what we're all planning to do. Be in a position where people go, did you see that? I want to see him again in 2019. So yeah, the shop window is well open for us all.
Good to talk to you, Ryan. It's a great fight, Bellotti against Walsh for the British featherweight title. Another great fight, one that we're all willing this young man over the line. I know that 18,000 in the O2 Arena on Saturday night will be doing the same. Charlie Edwards challenging for the WBC flyweight title against Christopher Rosales. Charlie, I've followed your social media for this fight. You've put a lot of pressure on yourself. We know what boxing means to you and your family, and this is it. This is maybe not the last opportunity, but probably the best opportunity you will get to become world champion on Saturday night.
100%. I just want to say thank you for Rosales for giving me the shot. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Eddie, for believing in me and giving me it again. I wouldn't say I haven't put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, and I'm talking it into existence. I believe in myself, and I believe that I'm going to take that belt on December the 22nd. It's going to be a hard, tough fight, but my trainer and me, we've developed the game plan, A, B, and C, just like Reece said. We ain't left no stone unturned, and we're ready. We're really well and truly ready. My mentality's there. I'm physically stronger, I'm emotionally better, and I'm really looking forward to Saturday night and putting on a show for everyone.
Rosales has kind of been that fighter where he just got slung into the deep end before he had the opportunity to learn. You saw him lose to Cal Yafai, saw him lose to Andrew Selby, and as he travelled the world fighting these quality fighters, got better and better and better. A massive win in Japan, and then you saw him destroy Paddy Barnes in Belfast recently. His confidence right now is on another level. Is it a case of, using your boxing skills? He tends to walk his opponents down. That's what he did to Paddy Barnes. There are going to be times where I guess you're going to have to stand and fight in this fight as well. 100%,
and we've prepared for that. 2 years ago, I was chucked in the deep end, and it made me realise what I had to do to become a world level fighter. I've gone away, I've had the right sparring, I've been around the world in international sparring partners, and well and truly believe that this is my time and I'm ready to take that step and become world champion.
I remember when you won the WBC international title years ago. You wore that belt everywhere you went. It was everywhere. To win that one, the real one, which, you know, we work with all the governing bodies, but I know to a fighter, that is a very, very special belt. What would that mean to you to become WBC world champion on Saturday night?
It'll be a dream come true. From a young age, I've always wanted to be a world champion. I've always looked at that belt as the best belt out there. It's the best looking belt by far for me. And it'll be a dream come true, and I can't wait. I really can't wait. And to get my hands on that belt Saturday night and take it home to my mum, who's been very ill for Christmas, will mean a lot to me, and that's what's going to happen on Saturday night.
Well, like I said, everyone in this room, everyone in the O2 and around the country will be willing you over the line on Saturday night. Christopher Rosales, welcome, welcome. Another fight for you away from home and another defense of the belt that you are very proud of.
Bueno, muy agradecido de estar aquí. Estamos con las mejores, ¿verdad?, ansias de este combate. Ya estamos ansiosos de esperar el sábado. Como decía Charlie, él viene ansioso de ganar el título, igual yo. Así estuve ansioso de ganarlo. Fue un sueño hecho realidad para mí. Y ahora un sueño que no quiero despertar. Es un sueño del que yo quiero mantener. Este título me costó bastante sudor, bastante sacrificio, y pues no voy a venir a dejarlo así por así aquí al territorio inglés. Este título va de vuelta para Nicaragua. Es un sacrificio que he hecho con mi equipo de entrenamiento, y pues estoy muy agradecido con mi equipo, ¿verdad?, con Gustavo, Wilmer, Roger. Es algo de que yo no voy a dejarlo ir, es algo que voy a mantener, y pues sabemos de que vienen mejores peleas. Es una gran oportunidad que me están dando aquí, ¿verdad?, para catapultarme un poco más en mi carrera, y pues vamos a aprovecharla.
Well, I saw smoke coming off the translator's pen there. And 4 pages she wrote there. Unbelievable. Very fast writing. So, well done. Give that a go for us. Can I just say, normally we have a guy called Joe Forbes who just makes it up, basically. So you can do the real thing for us this time.
Well, I'm very thankful to be here, and we're extremely excited about the fight on Saturday. And as Charlie said, it is his dream, and he's hoping for his dream to come true. Well, it was my dream. It came true, and it's a dream I don't want to wake up from. There was a lot of sweat, a lot of sacrifice to win this belt, and I'm not ready to leave it here in England. It's coming back to Nicaragua with me. And I'm very thankful to my team, to Roger, to Wilbur, to Gustavo. And once again, I said I'm here to keep my belt, and I won't leave it here. And I think that this fight is really the huge opportunity to propel me in the world stage.
Thank you very much. Well done. Well done. And the final question is, Christopher has become a big star in Nicaragua. We've seen the pictures of him returning home with his belt. He fights for his country here. And does he feel that he will be too good and too strong for Charlie Edwards on Saturday?
Bueno, pues sí, para mí es una gran responsabilidad llevar este cinturón en mi país nuevamente, ya que pongo en alto a mi país, Nicaragua, y pues creo que sí, soy lo suficiente fuerte y lo bastante inteligente para poder ganarle a Charlie. He peleado con boxeadores de diferentes estilos, con boxeadores bastante fuertes como era Daigo Iga, catalogado como un monstruo en la categoría 112, invicto con 15 knockouts, y también con Paddy Barnes, otro boxeador medallista olímpico. Peleé con Khalid Jafai, con Andrew Selby, y pues he peleado con boxeadores de todo estilo, y pues creo de que estoy apto y me siento capacitado para salir con la victoria y con el cinturón para Nicaragua el día sábado.
Well, yes, it is a huge responsibility to go back to my country with a belt because I'm really making my country proud. But I think that I'm strong and intelligent enough to win against Charlie on Saturday. And I have been fighting against many boxers who have many different styles, like Ohiga, who hadn't had any defeats, 15 knockouts, and other Olympic champions, Andrew Selby, and many other styles. And so I really think that I'm ready to bring the belt back to Nicaragua on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The new Chocolatito.
No, podríamos decir que no. Siempre se mantiene el chocolate, pero por mis tíos que fueron los que iniciaron esto.
Well, no, Chocolatito is Chocolatito, but this is thanks to my uncles.
Good. Good luck to you on Saturday night at the WBC flyweight world title fight between Charlie Edwards and the champion Christopher Rosales. We're moving to the light heavyweight division, which I think domestically and internationally is just sensational right now. I think this young man to my right, Joshua Buatsi, is leading the charge. And although he's had few fights, I think he's been so impressive. And we step him up at a good, solid pace on Saturday night for what is unquestionably the toughest fight of his career so far in the defence of his WBA International Light Heavyweight Championship. We've seen great performances from Callum Johnson, first beating Frank Buglioni and going and dropping Artur Beterbiev before eventually losing for the IBF world title. Frank Buglioni has left the sport now after his great career that he's had. Anthony Yard going well. And then you look internationally, Bivol, Grodzik, Beterbiev, and obviously our thoughts particularly with Adonis Stevenson as well following his defeat for his WBC light heavyweight championship. Elder Alvarez and rematching Kovalev. It's just a wonderful time internationally, and these guys are top level. This young man we've seen on these shores before against Chris Eubank Jr. You were a younger guy there, I think probably a little bit too inexperienced. I remember we spoke a lot on social media talking about your opportunities. You've been there and you've seen it now, and you're an experienced fighter. Up at light heavyweight, which looking at the workout yesterday looks to really suit you. Look like you're punching very hard, and another big opportunity to fight in the UK on Saturday night.
I'm grateful to come back here. Thanks to Matrim and Eddie for the opportunity. Thank you to Wati for defending his title against me. It's a pleasure to come back, especially jumping up to light heavyweight. I feel a bit more stronger, comfortable, and just looking forward to this Saturday.
You're never in a bad fight, and nor is Joshua Buatsi. I saw your last fight, and I know, although you lost that fight against Hooper, it was an incredible fight, back and forwards, and you had him in plenty of trouble as well. Do you have to be more careful with Buatsi, or are you going to go in with that same style that you normally bring to the ring on Saturday?
I think with the Hooper fight, I wasn't mentally focused. There's things going on in my camp, but I'm learning as well. Coming into this fight here, I'm just keeping being the same, not changing nothing. Just, a bit more fitter, and everyone's going to see a different Quinlan.
Again, finally a great division, and back home as well, boxing is booming in Australia. It'd be a major moment for you and Australian boxing if you could win on Saturday night.
Yeah, it will be. It will be, and all blessings to God that I get the win and take the belt back home.
Thank you, Reynolds. Josh, this is, I think, the fight we want for you, where someone's going to definitely come to win, someone's going to be firing back, and a good opportunity for you, again, at the O2 Arena on Saturday night.
For sure. Firstly, good afternoon to everyone. Like Ryan Walsh said, season wishes, Merry Christmas to everyone. Saturday, like you said, Eddie, is a step up, supposedly meant to be a test. Quillian's going to come to fight, come to win. That's great for me. 2 hands, 2 legs. We get in the ring and we see what happens. There's no predictions, no anything. For me, it's a win at all costs. So I'm looking forward to it.
How much do you need that ring time? You know, last 2 fights, we've had 2 opponents who we've seen go deep into the rounds with other talents that we talk about, and you got rid of them both in the first round. Do you feel like you need to get those rounds before you move into a major title fight?
So for this fight, it's scheduled for 10. I've prepared for 10. If it goes 10, that's great. But to be fair with you, if I see an opportunity, more than open and more than happy to exploit it. So I haven't done the rounds like you said, but I do them in training day in, day out. And like I said, I've prepared for 10 hard rounds. If it goes 10, that's great. If not, then that's still good for me.
We know you're a very humble individual and you don't like to call out fighters, but where do you feel your career's at right now? We know that in this world we live in, the fans are impatient. They want it all now. They want to see you in with, you know, Callum Johnson, with Burton, with Yard, and with Beterbiev and Bivol and those guys. We know that the world level is still some fights away, but how ready are you feeling to take on the likes of the names that I mentioned there?
I feel my team has made it very clear that we're more than open and more than prepared for these fights. My team wouldn't say that if I weren't ready, so they've said that, so I'm more than open. Quinton stepped up to 22nd December, and that's who I have to deal with. So after that, we look forward to it. If these guys want to make these fights happen, my team is given the green light, so I'm more than open for it.
Thank you, Joshua. We look forward to a great fight. It's going to be fireworks between Quinlan and Boazzi on Saturday night for the WBA International Light Heavyweight Championship. Thank you so much for sitting by and listening. Great card, so many characters, so many great fighters, great individuals, so many opportunities on Saturday night to make history for these guys at British level, world level, and a lot of people fighting for many, many things on Saturday night. We're going to clear this table, and then we're going to have a head-to-heads with all the guys here and one-on-ones with you guys, and then we'll begin the main press conference in about half an hour's time. Thank you.